Okay, here I am at house number 1. This is 4404 Point Degada in Oceanside. This is the one that has the homeowners association with a pool. A mix of good and bad. I think it's a good value, but there's a couple things I got to take a look at, particularly the flooring. So we'll let you know about that. So just real quick, I'm going to give you a panoramic view. I'm going to just go to the houses over here. And actually, an investor bought one down the street there on the left-hand side earlier this year. Model matched to this, but it had an addition put on. Okay, this is the road you would head down to go to the pool. I don't have to take you down to the pool, but just so you know, there's a community pool, and people like this community for that. And circling back around, you can see no neighbors on the side. There's big empty field and space over here, so nobody bothering you over there. One thing I don't love, if you look right here, where that mailbox is, there's a house behind the house that we're looking at. Not ideal, but actually not that big a deal. It's a lot worse for this guy who lives back here to have to come out the driveway and come out here, but the house does sit behind back here, so instead of having the awesome golf course view, full view, you do have that house behind you. There's a fence, not that big a deal, and the golf course is back in there. You know, if somebody was going to, I don't think it's not going to bother renters in the slightest. So, so the front yard is in good shape. Landscaping in the back is one thing we're going to have to look at. That's going to be an expense. But as I always tell you, that the place is a little beat up and needs some updates, and that's why it's got a low price right now, and that's why it's not selling. We have to figure out who takes care of that, whether it's you or that guy back there. That's probably that guy's stuff. So let me just take you in and tell you what my biggest concern is. Come in, everything looks good here. These overhangs right here, these are common in this neighborhood. I've seen them before in a couple other houses we bought. That stuff is probably going to come up there in the termite inspection. I'm no termite guy, but that stuff actually looks pretty good. I've seen stuff that looks a lot worse. I mean, you might be getting some dry rot in some of those boards. But that'll come up in the termite inspection, and that the seller's going to take care of anyway. They did a lot of DIY stuff here. I have no idea what this box is for. I can get rid of that, but just that just covers up their irrigation stuff. This little brick wall out here is a nice touch. The outside, the stucco wall looks good. Inside, the paint is all good, although upstairs we're going to have to repaint some stuff. I think that this color doesn't bother anybody. It's the same blue that was in the house down the road when we got that. Okay, so you walk in, and what I like is you have all hard surface downstairs. What I'm worried about is Diana always tells me about this tile, or this outdoor tile that they use on the inside of the house, and people don't like it. This isn't the one she always talks about, so I'm hoping that when she sees this, she doesn't say like, oh my god, no, it's horrible, but she will look at the video and let us know. So Diana, if this floor is a no-no, then we're going to have to figure that out, because that'll be another big expense. So we'd have to figure out like what the plank floor. But I think that, you know, I put it this way: if this flooring's no good, then we're gonna have to. I mean, I don't mind it. I actually like it. But if she says that renters don't like it, then we got nothing to do. Every window in the house, with the exception of, I believe, 2, have been upgraded to vinyl and double pane, and I have brought that up several times before, because that's a big upgrade. I'm gonna say they put like probably 15 grand into windows in this house, the owners. So you can see the difference between these, I hope. This is like a vinyl, and it's relatively new, and it's also a double pane. Whereas this one out front here, why they didn't replace this one, I have no idea. But this is an older style and single pane. So if I were buying this place and we're doing a big update, I would change that window. And I think there's one upstairs as well. Okay? So you come through, this would be your formal dining over here. I know you're going to need some sort of lighting. They did put recessed lighting in there. Lighting will be another expense, particularly in the kitchen. I mean, in here, they've put all this recessed lighting in here, so looks pretty good. we go into the kitchen. In the kitchen, so you have this tile that's, you know, pretty ugly, I think. So I think you bang all that out and you basically make everything new. Now, if you're changing the tile on the countertops, most likely, I don't know if you'd be changing that backsplash or not. That's something for Diana. So that might be a big job. The biggest work in here is going to be in the kitchen. Okay, so you can see they put in this extra counter over here. It's actually quite cool. Now that would be the normal place where the breakfast table or something of that nature would sit. So this is all something we'd have to figure out. That's definitely not been there from the get-go, but you can see they put stools there. They have a stool over there right now because you can overhang on both sides. I'm sure they put this in here for cabinet space in the kitchen. Okay, so oops, sorry about that, bud. You got the fireplace over there. I'll take you out into the garage and show you the bath. I'm just going to let you look outside here. And again, this slider all updated. All the windows have been updated. It's a big upgrade. And there's some window coverings, there's some not, so there's another expense. The backyard, it's actually in pretty decent shape for nobody living here right now. So, you know, it's not, you're going to have to do something with the landscaping around here and just basically tidy it up. But this all looks okay out here. Looks a lot better than a lot of the yards. And so there's that house I was talking about. And the fencing is going to be something too. I mean, the fencing's all kind of falling down. But that's not something that we could, you know, we can always, you know, talk to the neighbors after the close. But clearly the fencing looks pretty grim and needs to be fixed. And fencing can be expensive as well. So that's something we can ask for in escrow. But again, that's why the price is low. But yeah, something should be done with that. It just doesn't look nice and it's all beat up. And I know fencing is not cheap because I've done plenty of them myself. But you can share that expense with the neighbors a lot of time. So we'd figure out how to do it. They left this little bit. They wanted to have the fence here so they didn't see their house. But they left that bit open because that's the golf course over there. So you're here chilling on the golf course. You got a good view of that. And then you got I'll show you just over here. It's just a little ditch over here. I don't know what in the heck, you know, why that's not kind of like filled in with something. I know Diana's going to hate that thing. I don't know how you can see it, but, you know, I don't think that's for drainage, but there's a ditch there where it would be better if it was level. Again, this landscaping stuff, yeah, it's going to cost a little bit of money, but it's not even worth talking about. It's going to be a, you know, something that the landscapers will come in and take care of right away. The bigger expense would be the fence. And again, more times than not, we try to share that with the neighbors, but I don't know in this neighborhood if the neighbors are going to be up for fixing the fence or not. The air conditioner, so the good news is I knew it had an air conditioner and it wasn't working. They had this on the market last year and they said they were not going to replace it. So the air conditioner is not working, but we know it's plumbed for air conditioning, so you're going to need to upgrade the air conditioning. I'll show you the furnace. The furnace, you know, if we're putting in a new air conditioner, I always say upgrade the furnace because that's probably original equipment as well. Alright, so we come through here, and as you see, I'm still down here. Here's the downstairs half bath, laundry room, and the garage. So here in the garage, they've done some funky stuff, like put up this loft over here so you can't pull two cars in the garage. I don't think the demo of that would be such a major deal, but depends on the tenant. The tenant might like that, but I would imagine, you know, the tenant would want to use the garage, so we might have to take that out. And you can see how they have it kind of jerry-rigged up on the blocks like that, so don't love that. This furnace, yeah, dude, that thing's, you know, I'm sure it works, but he's seen better days. If you're putting in an AC, you replace that because the marginal expense to replace the furnace when you're doing AC is next to nil. And got to show you your water heater. Looks pretty shiny and new. So a little bit of work to do in here. So I'm going to take you upstairs. I will show you all the carpet's all been replaced. The carpet looks good. So we come up. The walls are a little bit dark here. I don't love this paint color, but I know you can't really tell in the lighting what this paint color is, but don't love it. It's manageable. It's kind of a like a light chocolate mocha, whatever you want to call it. But the bedrooms probably need to be painted because they got these grim colors on the wall. It's dark green in here. The carpet just been replaced. The closet doors, that's kind of an upgrade. You can see, like, yeah, you have this annoying house who wanted to be right on the golf course right there, right behind you. That's your view from the master. We have window covers here. These windows all been updated. You got nothing over there, so decent view. And the golf course. So, master bath. Good news is, yeah, I don't really see any major work that needs to be done in the master bath, with the exception of we're going to change out that lighting. I'm sure Dinah will take that thing out, put some recessed lighting up there, and make it look nice. But the rest of the stuff, the flooring, the shower enclosure, that all looks good. You could probably like tidy up those things with a little hardware on the cabinets. I don't think they need to be refinished. I don't even think they need to be repainted, but you can't quote me on that. But you put a couple knobs on there. They'll look good. And then you got bathroom number 2. Looks pretty good. Same thing. I think if you put a few knobs on there, it'll look a lot better. The showers look like they've been definitely updated over the past several years. Tub looks good. Shower doors look good. So not that much to do up here. I mean, if we want to change the colors on these walls, I would question the colors on the walls. I know you can't see it here, but it's yeah, something lighter would look a lot better. And the rooms that have the dark green in it, I mean, to paint it lighter, I know it's a more expensive paint job than your normal paint job because it takes several coats of lighter stuff to cover a dark color. You're a smart guy, you can figure that one out. So this window's been updated as well. Golf course over there again, you can see. And then in this room over here, this is the one I was showing you, the dark color. Has window covers. That's the second window that hasn't been updated, so why they didn't do them all at the same time is beyond me, but I would update that window. And then finally over here, last bedroom, again, updated closet doors. They have those mirrors. That's good. This, you know, this bedroom has a good view of the golf course over here, and these windows all updated as well. So paint, landscaping, the kitchen downstairs is your big expense. So paint, landscaping, the kitchen downstairs, and maybe a little bit of demo in that garage. So, yeah. Oh, and the AC and the furnace. So, man, I'm ballparking it at around like 30 grand. It might be less than that. I'll go over it with Diana. But the major thing is if she says that this floor is a go-ahead, then I think it's worth taking a stab at this. And if she says the floor is a no-go, then we just have to find something else. The price on this $569K. She told me they had a full price offer, but it fell through because the person who was trying to buy it couldn't sell their house. I think the house is fairly priced for the market we're in right now. Possibility we can beat them up a little bit on price still. All right. I think that's it for now. I'm also gonna, ask Diana what she thinks about this little thing here. If she thinks that little, cabinet area with that, I don't know what the hell you call it. There's a countertop there. If she thinks that's an impediment or she thinks it's an improvement. I actually think it's all right, but what do I know? I'm not a decorator. Okay, dude.